Now I'm going to work on removing all the paint from these bolts around the boat and then carve out these corks on top, and then I'm done with that. It will look something like this from the bolt underneath and this on top. And the reason we need to do that is because we need to get the wood off to get down to all the rust underneath, and you can also see it here. And then the wood is already off. We want to sand it and then lacquer it after and put it back on. So we want to keep it in one piece. And this is the primary tools I'm going to be using. Okay, so I'm done now with peeling all the paint off the bolts, but here for the last 2 meters I ran into a little problem with the bolts, and it's very easy to see with this one. You can see the bolt is going back and forth, which is not ideal. We need to get it off, and there's not much to do about it right now, but I can hopefully fix it. Then I have removed the wooden corks on top and we can get down to the bolt. So it's just a matter of time before we get all the corks off, which is what I'm going to be working on doing now. And these are the tools I'm going to be using for carving out the corks. So now I've carved out all the wooden corks that I could, because there's of course also some wooden corks under this metal rail, but we need to remove that to get down to the corks. So that's the next task, is to get that metal rail off. So now we have got the metal rail removed. You can see it down there. And we have also done it on the other side. So now I need to carve out the corks. So now that we have carved out all the wooden corks, it's time to get all the bolts out of these holes and make them look like this one, where there isn't a bolt in. So that's the next task. And just like that, we have removed all the bolts from the wood. And I know you only saw me do it on this side, but it has actually been done all around the boat. So now all the bolts are out. And these twisted bolts I talked about here in the front, we just have to cut them over to get them out. So that was no problem when we did that. And the last thing we need to do to get this wood off is to remove some rubber. There's on the outside that are also holding it in place, because you can see it's already loose now after we remove the bolts. But it will be easier to do that from the outside, and we have some scaffolding on reels, but one of the tires are flat and we need to fix that first. So we are going to take a little break working on this wood and go and do some other work. So the thing that we are going to be working on is the aft cabin. And the job is to remove all these things that you see on top of the aft cabin, so that we can get it sanded down and repaint it, because as you can clearly see here, it needs some work. So we need to remove these wood pieces and all these things for the mast. So that's the next task. now I just grabbed a lot of plastic bags to start sorting out all the screws and bolts here from the aft cabin, so we know where they come from. Then we need to put it all together again.